Joined by security expert Roy Okhidievbie, and he joins me via phone. Good to have you on the news at this time. So now let's first off get your perspective on the root causes of this proliferation of illegal weapons in Nigeria and how these underlying issues can be addressed to prevent further spread.
Well, thank you. Thank you once again for the opportunity. You see, for crying out loud, Nigeria has a territorial integrity. And all our boundaries, our lines of access control into the country and outside of the country are tailored and approved by the same ECOWAS that we are talking with. As I speak to you now, Nigeria has allowed this menace to continue because it has been distracted. If you look at the influx of small arms and weapons into Nigeria, so many of that opportunity has been caught. There are times that we have caught people that have brought in weapons through the ports. Until today, there is no report about who brought those weapons into our ports and what consequences were accrued to them. There are persons that were caught bringing weapons into Nigeria by land, and the vehicles were accosted and the weapons were retrieved. There is no traces, no expose, no consequence upon the persons that sponsored those movements of illicit weapons. And you understand that there was also the understanding that Nigerians should submit the weapons that are with them. So where is the audit of all the weapons that have been seized via this illicit transfer and movement of weapons? Where is the audit of our military weapons that were bought and deployed to all our battalions and brigades? Don't we have an audit? Where is the audit of the police weaponry? Because last time we had that the audit of the police weaponry exposed gaps in accountability and wherewithal for where the weapons were kept, deployed, and in possession of our agency personnel. So if you look at these three as an opening rider, I said we are not ready to curb this menace.
Indeed, fascinating. But how do you think this illicit trade in small and light weapons perhaps intersect with other forms of organized crime like drug trafficking and, of course, money laundering?
Look, if we have the mind of patriotism, we'll be able to deal. All these countries that we mentioned, they are just an excuse. Don't we have countries that are worse than Niger and all these other countries around Israel? How can they take weapons into Israel? Don't we have Mexico by the side of the United States of America? How many times do you hear that, oh, light weapons and arms? You know, if you look at the NDLEA, just recently after they changed the body language, you can see all the discovery, the arrest, and the busts that have been made for drug trafficking. Now, these weapons we are talking about, they are already within us. They are around us. In the first instance, we have hoodlums, touts, area boys, all of them wielding weapons whenever there is a crisis. In our town, have we arrested any of them? Have we asked, where did you get these weapons from? And trace the line of distribution and arrest at the sources. And then we will know that, okay, we have been able to close the line. There is no sincerity in all of these things. And it's going to be a big problem for Nigeria because all the youths are getting volatile and all the communities are getting aggressive.
Indeed, but what are some of the innovative approaches that you think that has been adopted in other countries that have faced this kind of situation in addressing the proliferation of arms and ammunition, and how the lessons Nigeria can learn from it?
One area that I've been aggrieved about that other countries have done is our private security industry. I'm the outgoing national PRO, Publicity Secretary of the Association of Licensed Private Security Practitioners. And this body is mainly populated by ex-service personnel from military, DSS, police, and private security practitioners fully vetted by the DSS and Ministry of Interior. Now, we have written so many times, held meetings with the DSS, the hierarchy of the police, the National Assembly, to allow private security practitioners to run projects on armed guarding, armed possession systems, where we will have our own personnel that will be carrying arms. But we see hunters, we see bandits, we see all of them wielding weapons. That is one, the private security industry. The second industry I'm telling you is the approval of persons to have permits to carry weapons in a society. Because all these permits we are seeing are not for combat weapons. They are just for double barrels and all that. That cannot contain the aggression of fully armed militia by bandits. The third one that we need to look at is our screening processes. How do we authenticate a police weapon? Even if you take it anywhere, there are devices that can expose where that weapon comes from, tracking devices. We don't have it. We don't even have enough opportunity in our communities to put in technology. That is a problem.
All right, and that's a fine place to leave it. Roy Okhidievbie, a security expert, thank you very much for your insights on the news.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you.